everyone, what is up? It is Unfairvariable here, and today we are going to be playing the Stardew Valley Vampire Challenge. So you're probably thinking to yourself, Kat, what exactly is the Stardew Valley Vampire Challenge? And I would absolutely love to tell you. So this challenge is essentially you cannot leave the farm unless it is dark outside. And by dark outside, I mean it can either be raining, or it has to be when the sun has set. Now, in case you were unaware, in Stardew Valley 1.6, Concerned Ape made some changes to when the sun sets in the game. And I think that those changes are going to be absolutely perfect for this challenge, because the sun sets later in the spring and summer, and it sets a little bit earlier in the fall and winter. And for this challenge, we're going to be playing on the wilderness farm because we are a vampire. If there's any monsters coming out at night, obviously we are going to be the scariest one. So as you can see here, we are starting on day 7 in this playthrough, and that's actually for good reason. So in Stardew Valley, there are certain requirements to trigger different cutscenes, and for the community center cutscene specifically, it has to be day 5 or later, a sunny day, and early in the morning as you enter town from the bus stop. So obviously this means that we couldn't get the community center cutscene within the barriers of the challenge, and since I want this to be a CC run, we are officially starting on day 7. For real though, if someone in Pelican Town were a vampire, who do you think it would be? Because my money's on Pierre. Yeah, my money is on Pierre. That man does not do much. We know Caroline is into the supernatural. I feel like if anyone in Pelican Town were a vampire, it would be Pierre, and not just because I definitely want to make a blood-sucking capitalist joke right now. And with that, we were off to see this wizard guy who seemed nice at first. But then he decided to completely shock me by putting one of the little sentient apple creature things that are apparently called Junimos in a magical prison. Not cool, man. Not cool. Just look at this little guy. Just let him go. Let him go. But for some reason, after seeing that, we still thought that it would be okay to tell him about the note that we found in the community center, and that was obviously a mistake. Because once we said that, he decided it would be okay to make us drink some kind of hallucinogenic tea that was supposed to make us become one with the forest. I mean, look at this. I don't know about you, but I would feel pretty one with the forest after seeing that. If you know what I mean. For real though, I do love staring at those cutscenes. They do something to my brain. I don't know what it is, but it does make me want to smoke a little and then play this game, you know? Since day 7 was a rain day, it was a pretty lucky start to this run, and we could get a lot done. Even more lucky, day 7 was also a Sunday, which meant that the traveling cart was in town. I obviously had to stop and see what she had in stock, because we would not be seeing her very often in this run due to how late we have to sleep most days. Which, by the way, I will be using OBJ cheats in this run in order to time skip on sunny days, but I won't be using it for literally anything else. I decided to go ahead and get the sweet pea from the traveling cart to get a head start on the summer foraging bundle, and because it was the only thing remotely useful that I could afford this early on, and I refused to let the traveling cart opportunity go to waste. But sweet pea in hand, I headed back up to my farm and started clearing some land. A little bit of chopping trees, and gathering up all that sweet, sweet wood that we would not only be needing for a couple, or one of the bundles in the community center, but you need like 2 sets of 99 wood, so that was why I focused on chopping so many trees so early, but we also got enough wood to be able to build a chest. And this chest would be very, very useful because your girl is not good at managing inventory space, like, at all. It is not my forte. I'm not great at it. It's not for me. But once I got my chest put down, I decided to start clearing some of the fiber and hoping and praying that one of these little fiber nuggets would lead to me getting the living hat for the first time ever. But alas, it was not meant to be. So I decided that it was time to plant my parsnips as well as some of the mix seeds that I had picked up from chopping trees and stuff. And after all that was done, I headed up to the bus stop to see if there was anything there for me to forage, and sure enough, I did find a leek, which we can use for the spring foraging bundle, so, I'm not going to complain about it. I also picked up a piece of copper that I had ditched earlier, and I decided to head off to Pierre's, because we won't be able to go to Pierre's that often, since he'll be closed most of the time that we're awake. So I open up his little shopkeep menu and I buy some cauliflower, potato seeds, and I'm looking for fertilizers here, but I'm quickly realizing he does not have fertilizers this early in game. Sad. But I get some extra parsnip seeds and I head out only to immediately head right back in because I realized I forgot to say hi to both him and his daughter Abigail, and I definitely want to try to say hi to all the villagers. So I go ahead, go back in and do that before heading up to the community center to go ahead and put that forage that I found in the spring foraging bundle in the crafts room. Right. And we're off probably to go foraging again, and sure enough, we find a horseradish, so gotta ditch that copper that I ditched earlier, and I go ahead and put the daffodil and the horseradish that I found into the bundle, and that is the first bundle complete. And I also go ahead and add the summer foraging sweet pea that I bought from the traveling cart in there. And with that, the little Junimos take my gifts and they open up the crafts room and the fish tank for me. Very exciting. And we are off yet again. This time, we are actually going to go back to Pierre's again, because in realizing that the crafts room was open, I realized I forgot to buy a bean starter, and a bean starter is one of those crops that are necessary for the spring crops bundle. So I go ahead and I buy that before heading to the mines to get my rusty sword, which I appreciate and love very much, for no particular reason. I love my rusty sword. I really do. I promise. I promise. But I go ahead and head back to my farm in order to plant all the new seeds that I got. That way they can start growing and I can hopefully get the spring crops bundle done soon. So, I don't know about you guys, but spring is actually my least favorite season in Stardew. And I think that it's because strawberries are kind of hard to get, and I love having readily available regrowable crops, like crops that just keep on producing over and over. And besides strawberries, the only other one in spring that really does that is the beans, but beans are on the trellises and you can't walk through the trellises, so that makes them kind of a pain. So I don't like dealing with anything on a trellis in this game. I really don't. So my favorite season in game is probably fall, which is pretty filling. fitting, not filling, for the theme we're going for. Fall's also probably my favorite season in real life. But we went to the saloon to say hi to the vast majority of the townies because we all know that they love to meet up in here after our long, hard days of work, or in Pam's case, after a long, hard day of being in here the day before. Um, this has me thinking about who we should romance in this playthrough, and I'm thinking Abigail because she has lots of good like monster themed cutscenes. And I feel like she's really appropriate. It was suggested to me to do Probus, but I feel like Probus will be a little bit too difficult because in order to get the sewer key, you have to donate a ton. Uh, but yeah, I think for Abigail. And with that, that is our first day of this challenge complete. All right, and with that, we start our day bright and early on day 8 at 8 p.m. and we go ahead and check our mail, but it's just an advertisement, so it's nothing we have to really worry about. And we go ahead and get started watering our parsnips because our farmer, much like me in real life, has nothing better to do with their time except watering these plants row by row every day. We'll get it done eventually, I promise. Uh, but clearly doesn't have much qualms about doing this because she was able to just get up and pack up her life in Zuzu City and move to Stardew Valley in the middle of nowhere to this random farm that her grandpa left to her. But we are gonna focus kind of on the beautification of the farm a little bit over the next couple of first days, clearing out some of the land and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and get busy chopping some more trees. Fun fact, one of the reasons I don't like upgrading my axe in this game is because I actually really like the noise that it makes while you're chopping trees in this game. I don't know, it's such a nice thud of a noise. I enjoy it. So we go ahead and pick up some of the rocks and we find our very first geode. Now, obviously, we can't take it to Clint tonight. And it seems I have overexerted myself by accident. Oh, and here comes a bat, so we are gonna go ahead and race as fast as our little feet can carry us to bed in our farmhouse, and that's it for day 8. So, starting back up, day 9, bright and early, 8 p.m. As always, we immediately are confronted by a green slime. Because of course we are. Of course we are. That's what happens when you have monster spawns turned on. But just like before, we get busy watering our parsnips, cauliflower, potato, bean, and all that. And after that, I think we're actually gonna head into town. We're gonna try and get some stuff done. Maybe meet some more people in town. Was that a possum? Like genuinely, I don't think I've ever seen a possum in this game. That's pretty cool. It must be one of like the new little creatures added in 1.6. That's cool. I like possums. Nice makeup. Or wait, are you even wearing any? Thanks, Haley, but I actually am. I do have lipstick on as my accessory. At least I think it's lipstick. I don't know what else it would be. I assume that it's lipstick. Okay. But then we head to the saloon. We say hi to Emily, and we head right back home because we don't have much to do with our lives, to be honest. And I saw that there was a little slime right there that just attacked me. But with some of our extra resources, we're going to go ahead and put a chest inside the house. That way, on nights like this, where it's getting kind of close to passing out time, and we're low on energy, if we can't fight some of the monster spawns outside, we have a chest to safely put all of our resources in for the next day before we end up going to sleep, which is what I'm doing here. that we're in day 10, and while watering our crops, we immediately have this interaction. No, stay away! Stay away! I don't have the energy for this! No! Oh my god, and there's a bat right there. I just want to water my crops! What? You're a bat. We're supposed to be friends, right? Like, I'm a vampire, you're a bat. Like, surely you can relate to me at least a little bit. Oh my god. I've got to go to the mines soon to get a better weapon, because this is going to suck using the rusty sword. With all of my snips watered, I decided to go on over and get rid of this little growing thing right here, and I decided that's probably a good time, with no enemies around, to start moving all my stuff from my inside chest to my outside chest. So that is exactly what I'm doing here. And I realized I put my sword in my chest, and knowing me, I would be the dumbass to put my sword in my chest, and then immediately there would be a slime, or wilderness golem, or something else to cause me complete and absolute chaos. Uh, but with that, I decided it's probably a good time to try and get some fishing done, so that is where I'm headed. Jazz? Jazz, what are you doing? You are a small child. What are you doing out past midnight? Like, legitimately, what is she doing? Do-do. Okay, there we go. I didn't even know Jody was out this late. No! No, I just got a hit on the pole. And with that, it is now day 11, and it looks like my parsnips are ready. Thank you, Harvey, for that. And oh, Robin's axe. That'll be a good chunk of change. So let's go ahead and collect these parsnips and see if we get lucky. And we did not. Not one singular golden parsnip. Well, we still gotta save one of the normal quality ones for the community center. I said one, not all, like, 30 of them. Which, like, I'm just gonna sell the rest of them, because who in their right mind needs 30 parsnips? Not anyone I know. Oh my god. No. Oh my gosh, I totally thought that bird was another bat for a second. But we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of our parsnips watered and clear out a little bit more of the farm, as we have been every day, because we don't have that much time to just dedicate to clearing out the farm when we have other stuff to get done. So we go ahead and put that in a chest, and while we're doing that, we're gonna grab our field snack and wolf it down, because we are gonna need to clear the way down south, because we are gonna go hunting for Robin's axe. Speaking of Robin, in the darkness. What's the like, most people want to romance Robin. I've never been in that camp personally. I don't want to romance Robin. However, that does not mean that I like her with Demetrius, okay? I want to be
Yes, we can.
so clear about that. I'm not a huge fan of Demetrius, but I am a huge fan of Maru, and she is the result of Robin and Demetrius. So I think Maru's the most underrated romance option.
Oh, they were silver quality.
Now, can we make it to bed? I feel like this is a question we're going to be asking a lot, and I feel like we're going to be utilizing hint kits. But then again, I've never used a tent kit, so I don't know if that would, like, ruin the run and I have to reset. I genuinely don't know. When you have a tent kit, do you wake up, like, inside the tent, or do you just wake up where you put up the tent? You know, like, outside of it, but where it was. Because if you wake up inside the tent, I feel like it wouldn't ruin the run, but if you wake up outside of it, then it would, oh god damn it, it would ruin the run. Level 1 farming. Okay. We're moving, we're grooving, we're doing alright. Okay, but I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I don't want this video to get too long. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I already have the next video filmed, so that will be up pretty shortly. I'm loving this challenge so far, and I hope you guys are too. As always, I am Kat, and I'll see y'all later.